Hello and welcome back to another episode of Courts This Week, your go-to source for the latest legal updates presented by Livelaw. I am your host, Syed Ahmed Hussain, and I am here to take you through the most significant updates from this week. From the corridors of the Supreme Court to local judicial proceedings, I'll be providing you with clear and concise summaries that keep you informed and ahead of the curve. Remember, for a more in-depth understanding, do visit our website at www.livelaw.in. In today's episode, we cover Arvind Kejriwal's arrest and ongoing fight for bail, a hijab ban in 2 Bombay colleges, the Pune Porsche case, and much more. So let's dive into the headlines. This week, the Supreme Court commented on the Delhi High Court's handling of an interim stay application by the Enforcement Directorate in the Arvind Kejriwal bail matter. Following Kejriwal's bail grant by a trial court on June 20th, the ED quickly challenged it in the Delhi High Court, seeking an urgent stay. The High Court reserved its judgment on this application, but ordered the bail to be stayed in the interim. Kejriwal then approached the Supreme Court, which remarked that such reservation of stay orders is unusual and that typically stay orders are given on the spot. However, instead of ruling on Kejriwal's plea, the Supreme Court adjourned it till the High Court's final order, saying that it did not want to prejudge the issue. Subsequently, in a major setback for the embattled Chief Minister, the Delhi High Court this week stayed the trial court's bail order, citing inadequate consideration of the evidence by the lower court. Allowing the application moved by the Enforcement Directorate seeking a stay of the trial court's order, Justice Sudhir Kumar Jain said that the trial judge had not applied its mind to the material presented by the ED and the central agency's averments. In particular, the Delhi High Court took objection to the trial judge's observation that the entire voluminous record had not been perused. Such an observation was totally unjustified, Justice Jain noted. Following this, Kejriwal, his petition, and it was withdrawn from the Supreme Court, challenging the order passed by the Delhi High Court staying the operation of the trial court's bail order. In view of the pronouncement of the final order by Delhi High Court, the petition before the Supreme Court was withdrawn to file a fresh petition, challenging both the June 25th and the June 21st orders of the Delhi High Court, granting Kejriwal liberty to file a fresh petition. A vacation bench of Justice Manoj Misra and Justice S.V.N. Bhatti dismissed the petition as withdrawn. In a case concerning the illegal felling of trees in Delhi's rich forest, the Supreme Court criticized the Delhi Development Authority for failing to provide information on a site visit by the Delhi Lieutenant Governor V.K. Saxena. The DDA Vice Chairperson faces a contempt case for unauthorized tree cutting. During a hearing this week, the Supreme Court noted that the email sent by the executive engineer to the contractor had referred to the directions issued by the Delhi LG to cut the trees after visiting the site. However, the executive engineer denied the emails. In view of this, the court demanded clarity from the DDA, asking it to come clean on the aspect of the LG's visit and instructing the production of records related to it. During a subsequent hearing this week, Senior Advocate Maninder Singh, representing the DDA, said they were still locating the records, prompting Justice Oak to question whether the Vice Chairman had made inquiries in the concerned department, called for the reports, or asked the officers who were present in the meeting. In response to this, Singh gave the name of an officer who was present at the time of LG's visit, Ashok Kumar Gupta. Accordingly, the court issued notice to the officer present during the LG's visit and asked him to file an affidavit detailing what exactly transpired and if any directions had been given by the LG. The court extended the compliance deadline for the DDA Vice Chairperson by 1 week. It also expressed skepticism about the DDA's failure to account for the timber, saying, and I quote, "We are 100% sure that this is the tip of the iceberg. This must have happened in several cases and trees must have been felled. This is why we are taking a strong view so that the message goes out." The Supreme Court dismissed a petition by the Haryana Staff Selection Commission, that is the SSC, challenging a Punjab and Haryana High Court judgment quashing a 2022 notification granting 5% additional marks to Haryana domiciles in recruitment tests for certain posts under socio-economic criteria. These criteria included conditions like low family income, specific familiar circumstances, and the member of certain tribal groups. While setting aside this notification awarding additional marks to Haryana domiciles for Group C and D posts, the High Court said that it was discriminatory since it favored only Haryana residents. The court said the rules ought to be framed based on actual data and not political agenda. It ruled that such bonus marks violated Article 14, 15 and 16 of the Constitution, directing a fresh selection process. A Supreme Court vacation bench comprising Justices Abhay S. Oak and Rajesh Bindal upheld this decision, with Justice Oak criticizing the policy of granting an additional 5 marks to a candidate belonging to a denotified tribe whose family was not in public employment as a populist measure rather than one prioritizing merit. A public interest litigation has been filed in the Supreme Court seeking the formation of an expert committee to evaluate the viability of 3 new criminal laws set to take effect on July 1st. The petitioners argue that these laws were passed without proper parliamentary debate and contain discrepancies that add complexity and ambiguity to the legal provisions, increasing the burden on lawyers. They claim the new laws grant more power to the police and may suppress fundamental rights. The PIL highlights specific issues such as the admissibility of electronic records without sufficient safeguards against tampering. The petition also suggests that the new laws do not introduce substantial changes from the previous ones, causing confusion amongst citizens. This petition follows the court's earlier refusal to entertain similar PILs, stating the laws were not yet in force. This week, the Jharkhand High Court granted bail to former Chief Minister Hemant Soren in a money laundering case linked to illegal land possession. Soren, arrested in January after resigning as CM, had failed to respond to several ED summons. The ED's investigation uncovered allegedly illegal land transactions in Ranchi's Bargai area. However, Justice Rangan Mukhopadhyay of the Jharkhand High Court observed that no direct evidence linking Soren to the alleged land possession, deeming the ED's statements ambiguous. The court found that the conditions under the Section 45 of the PMLA were satisfied, warranting Soren's release. Previously, the Supreme Court had refused Soren's plea for interim bail. The Bombay High Court dismissed a plea by 9 women students challenging a dress code at NG Acharya and DK Marathe College in Mumbai. The college's dress code prohibits burqas, niqabs, hijabs, caps, badges and stoles. The petitioners argued this violated their right to choice, bodily integrity and autonomy. They distinguished their case from the Karnataka High Court ruling on a similar hijab ban, noting that this case involves senior college students without a uniform. The college defended its policy, stating it aimed to prevent the display of religious symbols, not targeting any specific religion. A division bench of Justice A.S. Chandorkar and Justice Rajesh Patil upheld the college's policy, finding no grounds to interfere. For more context, in 2022, the Karnataka High Court upheld a hijab ban in government colleges across the state, ruling that the hijab was not an essential part of the Islamic faith and that the government had the authority to enforce uniform rules. This matter then went up to the Supreme Court but is still awaiting final resolution since a split verdict was delivered by a bench of Justices Hemant Gupta and Sudhanshu Dhulia on the issue. Following a change in the government plans to lift the hijab ban in Karnataka, government colleges were announced last December. However, the legal question raised in the matter remained to be decided, having been referred to a larger bench of the Supreme Court. Next, we come to an update relating to the Pune Porsche accident case. This week, the Bombay High Court ordered the release of a minor accused in the fatal car accident in Pune. The 17-year-old son of a prominent builder allegedly drove a Porsche Taycan under the influence, causing a motorcycle collision that resulted in 2 deaths. The Juvenile Justice Board had granted him bail within hours of the accident. The bail conditions included writing a 300-word essay on road accidents and their solution. The timing of the bail order coupled with the bail conditions led to public outrage. Subsequently, a few days after he was granted bail, the juvenile was remanded to an observation home by the board. This was followed by the minor's paternal aunt filing a habeas corpus petition for his release. The court, deeming the remand illegal, has now ordered his release into the aunt's custody. The court directed that counseling sessions for the minor continue post-release. The Kerala High Court highlighted the need to recognize families as potential sites of violence for LGBTQIA+ individuals. The court observed that these individuals often face stigma, violence, and discrimination from a young age due to societal norms. The case involved parents alleging their 23-year-old daughter was in a toxic same-sex relationship and was being detained. The daughter, however, informed the court that she had chosen her partner willingly and was subjected to counseling by her parents to overcome her sexual identity. Notably, the court criticized the psychologist's report, which labeled the relationship toxic. It called this report fundamentally flawed, since it was based on the presumption that the 23-year-old woman's expression of gender identity or sexual preference was an act of defiance, and her sexual orientation could be altered through treatment. Finally, the court emphasized that Article 21 of the Constitution protects the life and liberty of every individual, regardless of their sexual orientation, and expressed hope that the parents would eventually accept their daughter's choices. A PIL filed in the Allahabad High Court seeks the creation of a comprehensive Mediclaim policy for advocates registered with the State Bar Council. The petition underscores the need for adequate healthcare benefits for legal professionals who often face significant health risks and financial burdens. The plea highlights cases where advocates have suffered accidents or illnesses without sufficient government support. A bench of Justice Ranjan Roy and Justice Om Prakash Shukla has given the UP government 4 weeks to respond. This follows the court's recent directive to consider an insurance scheme for lawyers representing the state government across Uttar Pradesh. A Bengaluru court granted bail to Tamil Nadu Minister Udhayanidhi Stalin in a case related to his controversial remarks on Sanatan Dharma. Stalin had compared Sanatan Dharma to diseases like HIV and AIDS, stating it needed to be eradicated. The remarks were made during a seminar in Chennai. Following a court notice, Stalin appeared before the 42nd Additional Chief Metropolitan Magistrate. The Karnataka High Court had earlier stayed the investigation against the seminar organizers, emphasizing coexistence despite different opinions. Meanwhile, the Madras High Court criticized Stalin's statements as perverse and contrary to constitutional principles. And that's a wrap for this week's Legal News Roundup. Before we bid adieu, the entire LiveLaw team has a small request for our dedicated viewers. As an independent and fact-driven media organization, we are deeply committed to fearless and ethical journalism. To continue bringing you the latest legal updates, especially in this dynamic audio-visual format, we rely on your support. Here's how you can help. Give our video a thumbs up if you found it informative. Share it with your family, friends, classmates, and colleagues. Make sure you're subscribed to our YouTube channel for more insightful content. Drop your valuable thoughts and feedback in the comments section below, and hit that bell icon to stay updated with our latest releases. Don't forget to visit our website at www.livelaw.in for in-depth reports and analysis. Not only this, but the LiveLaw channels offer memberships for only ₹89 per month. Become a part of LL supporters today to access exclusive perks such as loyalty badges next to your name in the comments and live chat, priority reply to comments, and for our student pass audience, early access to explainers and legal updates. I am your host, Syed Amir Hussain, and it's been a pleasure bringing you this week's legal news roundup. Until next time, stay informed, stay engaged, and stay tuned to LiveLaw. Thank you for watching.